Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. I hope you all enjoyed the Game of Thrones Season 4 premiere. We'd all been waiting for so long, Peter Dinklage probably could have just read the phone book for 54 minutes and we would have been satisfied. So this is what I'm going to do. This video will be a review with my top 5 moments and the first round of the giveaway. If you're finding me for the first time, I'm just doing a weekly giveaway. All you have to do to participate is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. I'll announce the winner in my Q&A video tomorrow. So there's more details in the video I just posted earlier today, the Season 3 video, so you can check that too, just to get the rules and all that. I'll also say please don't post any pirate links in the comments. I'd like to be able to work with HBO someday, and apparently they don't like pirates. So let's get started. Here are my top 5 moments from the episode. Careful for spoilers if you haven't seen it yet, but number 5, the melting down of ice. Notice I didn't say the forging of Oathkeeper and Widow's Wail. This was all about calling back to Ned Stark and all the other Starks who have fallen. The shot started on the sheath, which was made of a wolf's pelt. You know, it was actually a pretty heartbreaking way to start the new season. The music was even really sad, with Tywin just haunting the forge with his gaze. I was actually kind of proud of Jaime for defying him in that next scene, especially after he tried to give Oathkeeper back. The show does an amazing job of using visual cues to call back to earlier moments, you know, like Ned Stark's beheading. George R. R. Martin, of course, writes a lot of them into the story himself, but it's up to the show to interpret those visually, and the whole forge scene was just amazing. If you want to read that chapter from the books, it's Book 3, Chapter 32. If you want to know more about those blades that were being forged, like Tywin said, only 3 people know how to work Valyrian steel, and Tobo Mott, the smith, is the best. Ice was Ned Stark's Valyrian blade, and when he melted down, Tobo actually added this reddish-black hue to it for Lannister colors, so the 2 new blades actually look like they belong to the Lannisters. Number 4, Oberyn Martell's whorehouse introduction, a nice callback to Tyrion Lannister's introduction in Season 1. It wouldn't be Game of Thrones if there weren't a scene in a whorehouse. Take off your clothes, we're gonna be here a while. I just love the way that Tyrion shook his head whenever Oberyn offered him a spot in his sex party. The culture in Dorne is just a little bit different from that in King's Landing. You know, women have more social standing, and being bisexual like Oberyn isn't a really big deal, you know, like it is in the rest of Westeros. As funny as the Tyrion introduction was, their conversation about his secret mission to, kill the Mountain is really what's going to drive that character forward this season. Notice that he dropped some epic knowledge on us about Lyanna Stark too. Remember, he said, Rhaegar left Elia for another woman and it started a war. That was Ned Stark's sister, Lyanna. A lot of people, myself included, think that Rhaegar and Lyanna are Jon Snow's real parents, and Ned Stark just hid it from everyone to protect Jon. Thematically, it just kind of makes a Song of Ice and Fire about a son of Ice and Fire. It's just a theory, but it's one of the best I've seen. If you want to read that Oberyn chapter from the books though, it's Storm of Swords, chapter 38. Number 3, Jaime gets his golden hand. It was so hilarious how he just kind of waved goodbye. The hand itself is just one of the really iconic set pieces like Oathkeeper or Needle, but in reality it's just as useless as he claims. A hook really would be more practical. It seems like they're combining a lot of Jaime's later chapters from Book 3 with what's happening right now, just because he came back to King's Landing so much earlier. And it's implied that, Cersei is not down for twincest anymore because she's so fried from everything that happened since Season 2. But there is that one really notable scene from Storm of Swords chapter 62. If you want to know what it is, just read the chapter. If not, then don't worry about it. But it's fairly iconic, so I hope they end up doing it later in the season. Number 2, Daenerys and her lapdogs. Drogon sitting there purring in her lap is just really cute, but remember, these are untamable dragons. The computer graphics has also evolved a lot since last year. It really gives this feeling of Drogon thinking of himself as like a big dog that's still like a little lapdog. He even snapped at her like a hungry dog would whenever she tried to slow down his feeding. If he's gotten this big in this short amount of time, imagine what it's going to look like in another year. Dragons that aren't kept in captivity will just keep on growing. As for the quantity and quality of dragon scenes, this was just the first episode, so I don't expect them to blow their whole CG dragon budget right away. I'm really looking forward to seeing a few, Drogon action scenes like they've teased in the trailer, the bigger ones. That look on Ser Jorah's face as he's staring at Drogon while all this is happening tells you everything you need to know. This will not end well for anyone. In a battle between nature versus nurture, when you're talking about dragons, nature will always win. If you want to read this Dany, outside Marine chapter from the books, it's Storm of Swords chapter 57. And my number 1 moment, Arya takes back Needle. With the way they rode out of there, you'd think that the whole world is on fire. It's like Arya's becoming a demon and she's descending into hell. Smiling no less. Did you see how much she smiled as she slowly slit needle into Polliver's head? She killed the other two Lannister men the same way, not with a giant hack, just she very gently massaged the blades into them. Shh, 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 just be quiet and die. Best line of the episode, hands down, was, "Fine little blade, maybe I'll pick my teeth with it." There was actually a really notable change from the books here. In Storm of Swords, at the crossroads, whenever she did get Needle back, the Hound ends up being mortally wounded and she just leaves him for dead. So since they're still riding together and in good health, we'll have to see if they split them up anytime soon, but personally I don't mind them changing things just a little bit. They're so much fun together. Don't you just feel like it's Arya leading him around giving orders and not the other way around? If you want to read that crossroads scene from the books, it's Storm of Swords, chapter 74. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much they're jumping around in time, because we went all the way from like late 30s and now we're up in the 70s, so they're really just picking things to make it more linear. And as one last bonus moment, we have to talk about the Thenns. This is actually a bit of a WTF moment, but I had actually thought that Joseph Gatt was playing the Magnar of Thenn, but it looks like they cast someone else in the role. More to that WTF moment though, who else said that line from Seven in their head whenever they threw that bag down at the fire? What's in the bag? What's in the bag? Yep, cannibals. All I could think about was ye olde Hannibal Lecter's cooking blog. I can't remember, but up to this point in the story, I don't think we've seen actual cannibalism occur on the show, unless you count the Whites, and they don't really eat people, they just chop them up. But now it's your turn. Let me know, what was your favorite moment from the premiere? Was it meeting Oberyn for the first time? Was it Daenerys and her dragons? Or did you just think it was really awesome that they included that Ser Dantos scene with Sansa? That was actually a really small moment from the book, so I'm surprised they included it, but it was really cool. There really are like way too many awesome things that we could talk about from this episode, so feel free to add stuff in the comments if I didn't mention it in the video. Overall, I rated the episode as a solid A-. I have to save the coveted A for the biggest and best episodes this season, but as first episodes go, I loved it way better than Season 3, Episode 1. The humor was amazing, just a lot of really subtle additions from the actors, like Tyrion just shaking his head, and Nikolai Coster-Waldau just shaking his golden hand goodbye. One of the big reasons why the show is so good is because the actors are so good. I'll say that my favorite character from the episode though was definitely Oberyn. He's gonna be so much fun. He's like a wild rock star on vacation, and King's Landing is the hotel that he's gonna trash. And then there was that line, "Tell your father the Lannisters aren't the only ones who pay their debts." So good. I could talk about it all day, but let me know, what are your final thoughts on the episode? Was there anything that you didn't like in it? In other news, like I said, I'll be posting the Q&A video tomorrow where I'll announce the giveaway winner. You can click here to get that video. I'll add the annotation as soon as I post it, and you can click here for all my other Season 4 videos. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be such an amazing season. High fives, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.